Alright guys, welcome back again to the channel. As usual, back with some more stories concerning the Super Eagles of Nigeria and everything that you need to know at this point. So in the last couple of days, we've been talking about point deduction issues here and there. We saw Equatorial Guinea obviously getting the worst for it by facing 6 points deduction. And then there is the case of South Africa, who appears to be going scot-free even after fielding in an ineligible player. But again, we've seen a lot of information that have come out right now since the last time FIFA acted, which obviously was when they released a document on their website, which shows that, hey, they don't know what's happening about South Africa and the Lesotho game. They don't see South Africa or Lesotho, in their dispute books. So that one was clear. But since that statement was released, it felt like South Africa has gone scot-free from the whole situation. But an NFF official actually came out a few days ago to tell us to, especially, the people that have been saying, people like me, let me just put it like that, that have been saying that South Africa have gone scot-free, that they won't face that ban anymore. But this NFF official has come out to say that we should hold still on that. We should not rush to conclusion because FIFA has not said that they would not hold South Africa liable yet, but they've also not said that they would hold South Africa liable. So it's still kind of 50-50 situation right now. Some are even saying that there's still some kind of investigations going on the ground concerning a lot of these countries, not just South Africa and Lesotho game, but also other dispute situations that FIFA are still currently looking at. So this just goes down to the fact that we might still see some late action being done. But as it stands, as at right now, South Africa have gone scot-free. That's just the reality of it. As it stands right now, they have not been punished. And then talking about punishment, punishment coming from FIFA or CAF, an ex NFF's president has come out to say some things that are really shocking, especially to the hearings of Nigerian Super Eagles fans or Nigerians as a whole, because instead of siding or supporting the Super Eagles and Nigerians in calling out for those points to be deducted, from the Group C, he is saying that, hey, FIFA is right not to have deducted the points from South Africa. That is what this ex NFF's president, not ordinary official. This man was the Oga Patapata of the NFF previously. But I'm not going to say his name because I don't even know his name to start with. He decided to give this interview based on uh, anonymous stand because obviously this topic is something that is very, very spicy, and he didn't want to reveal his name because of the fact that Nigerians now, people might start to go into his DM and say some kinds of things, or people might make the whole situation escalate somehow. But obviously, what he said is something that has triggered a lot of reactions, all over uh, the news and also on social media. So he's claiming that, to start with, he's not even surprised that FIFA didn't punish South Africa. He says that he made reference to the time a few years ago when Nigeria got their 3 point deduction for fielding an ineligible player over Algeria. He said that what actually happened then was that immediately Nigeria, did that, featured an ineligible player. Algeria had to file a report immediately, ASAP. They didn't waste any time, you know. And then what followed next was that FIFA sent some sort of warning uh, or some sort of prompt to Nigeria, telling them that, hey, look at what has been brought to our table. You guys breached so this and this is and that. You have until so time to actually respond to this allegation or to these accusations. So he said that was how it went. That was the protocol back in the day, and everything was being done very quickly. First of all, it was the country uh, sending a letter immediately, and then almost immediately FIFA reached out to Nigeria. So that was how straightforward the whole process was. back in the day, and then that's how, if it's done, you know that you're going to get a result, or you're going to get somebody sanctioned ASAP. But he said when you look at the case between South Africa and Lesotho, when it actually happened, uh, there was the Lesotho national team didn't send out a letter or a document stating that South Africa had breached the rule. They didn't send it immediately. In fact, some people are saying that, or some stakeholders who are close to the situation said that Lesotho didn't submit any letter at all to FIFA or to CAF complaining about anything. So it was thinking that everything went fine, you know, up until I don't know when they submitted. Some were saying they submitted late on. Some were saying that when they actually even submitted a letter was these games that were played a few weeks ago. You know, this second leg that was played after they had lost 2-0. Is it 2-0 or 3-0? After they had lost this more recent game, that was when they decided to start taking it serious, to do send the letter and do reach out to these bodies. And there is no way you can expect FIFA to act on these kinds of response. It's way too slow for FIFA to act on. So this is part of the problem why South Africa has not been punished, according to this NFF's former president. So apparently, Lesotho were doing South Africa our big brothers. We don't want to we don't want to implicate them. We don't want to take it too far. We don't want to carry them to the court of arbitration or whatever hierarchy that we have to take them. We just want to let it slide. This was the feeling, or this was how they were actually acting back then. I think South Africa was also helping them by giving them or lending out one of their stadiums for them to use to play their home games. So it was very complicated. Lesotho were very much indebted to South Africa. They depended on South Africa for a lot of things. So they didn't want to really push for that to happen, which was why the delay happened. And that's why we've not seen, South Africa get sanctioned according to this NFF's, former president. Let's just see what he said in his own words, of course, for more clarity. He said, in Nigeria's case, FIFA had sent a warning, but the Federation failed to act on it. Algeria also filed a formal complaint promptly. That made the penalty straightforward. And then he continued, without a written protest and with FIFA itself not having alerted South Africa beforehand about Mukwena's suspension, it would be difficult for them to enforce a sanction without appearing culpable themselves. So that's what he said. FIFA cannot just come and act if they were not told on time. Because if they do act, it would be like they also are guilty of the crime, because it's against their character to act if they were not being told at the right time, things like that. So I guess this is what the NFF's former chairman is trying to say. What do you think about these guys? Obviously, with more and more update that comes out about this South African sanction possibility, we see that it appears that it's drifting. If it further drifts away from the hands of FIFA, we see further reasons why FIFA may not, at the end of the day, sanction South Africa. But even the same NFL are saying that it's not over, because FIFA has not said that they won't punish South Africa yet. And they've not said that they will punish them. So it's just kind of flat and 50-50 at this point. But again, let's just talk about, what this former NFF's president also said about the Super Eagles of Nigeria's chances of qualification, and you know, the reason for why we've not been performing, especially with these last two games that we played. So for that, he actually blamed the current NFF's organizers, that's current NFF bosses. He blamed them, saying that the way that they organized these two matches that we played recently was part of the reasons why the boys didn't get the result. He said that, in his words, Nigeria played Rwanda at home on Saturday, then traveled that same night and arrived in South Africa on Sunday, trained only once on Monday and played on Tuesday. They had the option of hosting Rwanda on Thursday or Friday to allow more recovery time. That planning failure cost us dearly. So I guess what he's trying to say here is that NFF failed in terms of scheduling the matches that we played. The last two matches, that they should have been able to schedule it in a way that will give the boys space. At least 1 or 2 days space for them to rest before playing the match. Because he was saying that we had the option of hosting Rwanda on Thursday or Friday to allow more recovery time, but we didn't do that. We kind of clustered it in a way, played one match, and then traveled the night of that same day that we played the game, and then played the other match the following day. The following day, yeah. So this is, what this former NFS president has said. As I said, he didn't say his name because he didn't want anybody to come and be disturbing him. Why did you say? Why are you not supporting Nigeria? Why are you siding South Africa in this case? At the end of the day, I think he made a good point. Obviously, he was one of the top guys, back then. So he knows, if anybody knows one or two about this case, obviously it has to be him. So I think some of the things that he has said is very believable. But we'll just go straight and talk about some other things, guys. Of course, we have the Champions League being played today. I made this video before the Champions League was played, but Victor Osimhen was in line to actually make his appearance in the Champions League. As a matter of fact, the reason why Galatasaray had to withdraw him from the Super Eagles camp when he had that slight injury was because they were trying to preserve him, save him for this Champions League tie against Frankfurt. But um, I don't know what the score is just yet because it has not been played. But when I checked on Galatasaray and Victor Osimhen, I saw that he was not included in the squad list for this Champions League game, and they decided to go with all the other strikers that they have on ground. The Sane, the Yilmaz, Icardi, and the likes. But this was actually a surprise to me because leading into today's game, Galatasaray was saying that Osimhen was in good shape, that he was recovering really well, and that it is very likely he's going to make his appearance for this game against Frankfurt. But it felt like it was kind of a dime minute decision that they later decided that this shin injury of Osimhen has not healed enough for him to make appearance in this Frankfurt game. And as for Ademola Lookman, of course, he was dropped from the squad. As I said, nothing changed. Atlanta, PSG, they also had a game today. It's just such a shame that these things are happening to our players. Champions League is the biggest stage of football, and we love to see our beloved Super Eagles players take the center stages in these competitions. And Osimhen missed due to injury. Lookman missed due to issue with the club. This is not good. This is not good. We have to be seeing our players make appearances in the Champions League whenever it's played. But that's the update for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to react to any of the stories in the video, especially what the former NFF's president said about the fact that FIFA is right not to punish South Africa, which is something that a lot of Nigerians are not happy about, especially when it's coming from a former boss of the NFF.